Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Service Dog channel. Have you ever wondered if being a service dog handler is as easy as it looks? Well, many people underestimate the challenges that come with it, and the truth might surprise you. Service dogs are incredibly important in assisting people with disabilities, providing them with the independence and confidence they need to navigate their daily lives. These specially trained canines are more than just pets, they're lifelines, offering both psychiatric support and physical assistance. One of the biggest misconceptions about service dog handlers is that they're somehow superhuman, capable of easily managing their dog's behavior and their own disabilities. But the reality is that these handlers face a multitude of challenges, from skeptical strangers questioning their disability to the constant scrutiny they're under in public. Add to that the enormous amount of time, effort, and resources required to train and care for their service dog, and you begin to get a sense of just how tough this job can be. Training a service dog, for instance, is a painstaking process that requires months, if not years, of dedication and hard work. Handlers teach their dogs not only to obey commands, but also to ignore distractions, navigate obstacles, and respond to emergencies. And even after all of that, there's no guarantee that the dog will succeed in its task training or become suitable for public access. Another common challenge service dog handlers face is the lack of understanding and education among the general public. Many people mistakenly assume that service dogs are the same as emotional support animals or therapy dogs, and that they can simply pet or interact with them without permission. This not only puts the dog's training at risk, but also can compromise the handler's safety and independence. Because of these challenges, many service dog handlers report feeling isolated and alone, as if they're fighting a constant battle to be taken seriously and to educate others about the importance of their role. It's a daunting task, and one that requires an enormous amount of resilience, patience, and dedication. Before my service dog retired, my day started when my service dog, Story, requested to go out for her morning potty break. Our daily routine changed over the years depending on our living circumstances, and it required a lot of time and effort from me. We would navigate busy roads, restaurants, and shopping areas, avoiding obstacles and distractions as we made our way through our ever-changing daily schedule. I preferred to avoid dog parks because people who have dogs with behavioral issues tend to take their dogs there to socialize them, and this can lead to traumatic experiences and potential injuries to a service dog. Our outings were not without their challenges, that's for sure. We often encountered people who didn't understand why Story was wearing a vest or why she was allowed in public places. Because I have an invisible disability, many people assumed I was training her for someone else. I would get comments like, "I really respect and admire you for training service dogs for disabled people." Then you have people that would try to pet her, talk to her, or distract her, which can have a negative impact on service dog handlers and result in disaster. Service dogs can become accustomed to getting attention from people and start seeking it rather than performing the work they were trained to do. It's a constant battle to educate and advocate for yourself, one that can be exhausting and draining. Many times, when I would urgently be making my way to the bathroom, I would inevitably get stopped by someone who would want to talk about my service dog, ask me questions, or tell me about a dog they had 20 years ago. I didn't mean to be rude, and I spoke with people when I could, but sometimes I just had to keep walking and say, "Sorry, I don't have time to talk." Outings always took extra time. When it was bad weather outside, I had to spend more time outside than anyone else because I couldn't just walk straight into a store without offering Story the opportunity to relieve herself before entering the store or restaurant. That means standing out in the pouring rain when I forgot her raincoat or my umbrella. Yeah, holding an umbrella while you're trying to pick up dog poop and hold a purse is no easy task. Then, when you get in the store or back in your car, you have to deal with the wet dog smell. Ugh. One of the most difficult challenges of being a service dog handler is when public places deny you access because of the dog. Most people in our country don't know or understand service dog access rights. It's not fun when somebody tries to kick you out of a restaurant because you tell them that they're not legally allowed to ask you for your dog's vaccination records. I have a video of that on my channel if you're interested. Then sometimes you have to experience people making belligerent remarks about you and your service dog within earshot. You have to decide if you're going to stand there silently and ignore them while they shoot daggers in your back, or if you're going to respond and possibly take part in a public confrontation. People assume because they can't see your disability that you don't need a service dog and your dog is a fake service dog. I even had a man start yelling at me that service dogs aren't a real thing and they can't do anything for people, literally yelling at me in front of everyone in the store. If you don't like being the center of attention in public, then having a service dog is not for you because every eye will fall on you. Then you have the financial costs associated with getting, having, and maintaining a service dog. Some of the costs include high-quality dog food, training treats, dental chews, veterinary preventative care like dental cleanings, vaccinations, flea and tick prevention, and heartworm prevention, and care for accidents and illnesses along with diagnostic testing like x-rays, ultrasounds, blood tests, and MRIs or CT scans. Then you have health insurance premiums and deductibles for your dog and any gear you might need like vest, collar, harnesses, and leashes. You also have the fear of being attacked by another dog in the store because you know the cost of having your service dog injured or traumatized by such an experience. It can cause anxiety and fear that you and your dog may not be able to overcome. Then the time and money you spent training or obtaining your service dog can all be erased by that one moment. The training never stops. If you don't review their work with them, they can forget how or when to do it, and you can forget the names of the commands that they were trained to recognize. The training is for you just as much as it is for them. There are times when a service dog is sick and either can't or won't go out in public with you. As with any dog, service dogs who get sick tend to throw up wherever they're at. It can be on a new outfit, beautiful carpeting, or something else of high value. Sometimes you can get it cleaned up and sometimes you can't. If your service dog has a stomach issue and can't hold it in, needing to potty frequently, then you can't take them out in public and they won't feel like it. Then you have to make a tough decision. Are you going to skip the outing or go alone? If you're going on a road trip, your packing is complicated because you're packing for the dog too. If you forget something, you'll likely have to go out and buy it. Some of the basic things you have to remember to pack are their gear, dog dishes, and dog food. And dog food can be bulky depending on how long you're packing for. Then sometimes you have to make more frequent pit stops. My service dog used to fake me out when we were on long trips. She would act like she urgently needed to potty, so I'd find a place to stop, and that little rascal would find a spot in the grass and lay down like she's birdwatching or something. Let's talk about the medical community. They seem to be one of the least informed segments of our society regarding service dog access rights. I've seen so many hospitals illegally deny access to service dogs. They don't realize that the only part of the hospital a service dog isn't allowed in is operating rooms and burn units. They've denied treating patients when the patient refuses to proceed without their service dog. Not only that, but the medical community is hesitant to prescribe a service dog for a patient. They aren't educated on the studies that have been done or how service dogs can benefit their patients' disabilities. The absolute worst two things about having a service dog is when they retire and when they pass away. When they retire, you have to start all over again from scratch, and you have to decide if you'll bring another dog into your home while the retired dog is still there. Then, when you take the new service dog out, your retired service dog will go through her own emotions watching you leave the house with the new dog all day. As with any dog, losing one to accident or illness or making the decision to euthanize the dog is one of the hardest decisions you'll have to make in your life. Despite the struggles, being a service dog handler has its rewards. There can be a sense of freedom and independence that comes with having a loyal companion by your side, the confidence that grows with each successful outing, and the knowledge that you're making a difference in your community. For some people, the pros outweigh the cons, and that's why they choose to have a service dog. One of the most powerful things about being a service dog handler is the bond that forms between you and your dog. It's a bond built on trust, loyalty, and mutual respect, one that goes far beyond a simple pet owner relationship. My retired service dog, Story, has been more than just a service animal. She's been my friend, my confidant, and my partner. I remember the first time I met Story, a bundle of energy and fur with big brown eyes that melted my heart. She is a gorgeous dog, as you'll see at the end of this video. I was hesitant at first because I already had another service dog at home who would be retired as soon as Story arrived. But as we began our journey together, I realized that Story was more than just a service dog. She was a dog that needed my love, care, and attention just as much as I needed hers. As I look back on our journey together, I'm struck by the sheer magnitude of what we've accomplished. She's been with me through some of the best and worst times. We've navigated crowded restaurants, gone through 4 relocations together, and educated the public while advocating for disability rights, all with Story by my side every step of the way. She's been more than just a service dog. She's a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of the human-animal bond. Being a service dog handler is not for the faint of heart. It takes courage, resilience, and dedication to navigate the challenges that come with this role. But it's also a journey that's filled with rewards, with moments of joy, love, and connection that makes it all worthwhile. Share your service dog struggles in the comments below, or what concerns you about possibly getting a service dog in the future. If you made it this far in the video, then I must have some information worth listening to. If you're interested in learning more about service dogs and the people who handle them, be sure to check out my other videos. Listen to one of my playlists while you do housework, rake the yard, or walk your dog. Subscribe to the Service Dog channel.